So welcome to another exciting episode of Grow Your Own Food with your host Tamym25. And on today's show, we're going to be looking at a few things. And we are now in July. So today we're going to be looking at what the weather's been like and how much it has affected the garden. And obviously there's been a few plants that have been growing well, and there are some few plants that have not been doing so well. Obviously things like your strawberry plants and all your other fruit plants may be suffering quite a bit with the sun. Obviously in the UK, in the south area, obviously the weather has been a bit unpredictable. And the season started quite late this year in terms of having great sun and being able to maximize the good weather. So the plants have taken a bit of a beating, and watering has been a bit of a nightmare. So with inconsistent rain and with inconsistent watering, it's been quite a difficult time for the plants. As you're going to see, funny enough, weeds always seem to go absolutely mad when the sun comes out, and a lot of my plants have started to bolt as well. So they're starting to produce their seeds in order to be able to produce more plants for next year. So really this episode is just to look at how to harvest your seeds from your plants, also how to continue maintaining in order to continue producing good food for you to eat throughout the rest of the summer season, leading into the autumn season in the UK. So let's crack on and start with the bathtub. Right, so we're over at the bathtub, and as you can see, there is a lot of weeds. Like I was saying before, weeds seem to go really crazy, and these are the tomato plants that I actually threw down into the ground, and they've actually produced I think 4 or 5 tomato plants. So with the continuous watering, we should be able to harvest some cherry tomatoes by the end of the season. Hopefully maybe the end of August, beginning of September time. So look out for that in that video. You get to see what the tomato plants have come out like. But apart from that, there's been absolute weed mayhem. As you can see, this has turned into a hell of a jungle. Sorry about the shadow in the footage, guys, but the sun's right behind me. And this is all the coriander plants, and obviously with coriander plants you get the coriander seeds. That's what the coriander seeds look like. Right now they're green. They will turn brown, and once they start to turn brown, you can harvest the coriander seeds, and there's a lot I mean, you can tell there's a lot of coriander seeds on there now. So you can actually harvest all the coriander seeds. Once you've done that, you can rip the coriander out of the ground and throw the coriander plant in the bin, because it's not going to produce any more coriander that you can actually eat. And then you can keep those. You can replant the seeds that you get and get an early harvest this year, either indoors or even outdoors, depending on how the climate gets. There is a couple here actually that have actually started to turn brown. I don't know if you can see that on the camera where my finger is. There is a couple there that are starting to turn brown. So when they start to turn brown, they're ready to harvest. They will come off quite easily. And then you can keep them in your seed packets for next year. Also, this is what fennel seeds don't really produce a seed, but they produce a flower like that there, and that flower will obviously convert into little seedlings which you can then harvest and keep. But fennel, great, you don't have to rip it out of the ground, you can just keep it there. It will actually, once it's finished producing its seedlings, its flowering, you can continue harvesting the fennel parts, which is the bits that look like this. These are the bits that are actually the fennel smell, and they smell absolutely gorgeous and taste very good with fish. Down here obviously we've got the parsley plant. So the parsley will just continue growing. It doesn't produce any seeds, it just keeps pushing through. It's a very good plant. And obviously down here we've got the thyme, and thyme again produces a flower which then deposits the seeds straight into the soil underneath it. You don't know if you guys can see that on the camera there, but that's basically, that was the flower. It goes brown, and then that produces the seed, which actually goes into the ground again, produces more thyme. Thyme again is also a very robust kind of plant, so it doesn't really need reseedling. And what else have we got in this jungle today? We've got our lettuce. This is what happens to lettuce when it starts to bolt. It shoots straight up and this is actually not edible anymore. It's actually disgusting to eat. It's super bitter. As you can see, they're all flopping down the leaves. The leaves also have, once your lettuce leaves starts to get this little spike on the back of their like little hairs, they are disgusting to eat, so you do not want to consume them. They produce a flower like a bud at the top, which then can be harvested into harvested and then used for seeding later. I don't really bother because lettuce seeds are quite small and tiny and hard to capture compared to other plants. What is this down here? I have no idea. What the hell is this doing in our garden? I don't know. Don't know where that's probably come from a bird. Moving on. Right, so we're at the blackberry bush. As you can see, we have got loads and loads of blackberries. Haven't harvested any yet, and there is a few blackberries on the bush already, which is great. There is a lot of plants still changing, so you got the green ones which are still going to go purple, as you can see, and they're not that big this year, which is a bit strange, but yeah, they are organic, so they do taste nice. Obviously these are the chives and a little bit of burger lettuce there. Also over at the strawberry plants, so the strawberry plants aren't actually producing any more strawberries at the moment, from what I can tell. They've all stopped producing their strawberries. They're just literally just going through their flower staging, and they'll send out their suckers, and the suckers look like this. This is a sucker. So this is a sucker which, if you put that into the ground, it'll produce more strawberries, more strawberry plants, should I say, so then you can get more strawberries. But I don't ever bother with that, because it's not required. The strawberry plant produces enough as it is. Chili plants are still doing their thing, and this one's actually got a little flower popping through the top there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. And we should get some chilies by the end of the season, and definitely from this plant down here we'll definitely get some chilies, because it is starting to push through some chili plants there, like so. You can see the little buds coming through, so we should get some chilies from there. These are weeds amongst the mint, so this is going to get all ripped out in a little while. So to clean up, literally this month is maintenance, watering, de-weeding, because if you leave the weeds in your plants, they will consume the nutrients for your plants for itself, and then your plants get neglected, and then they die and just turn into crap. So, you know, top tip is to make sure for this month, especially in July, when the sun is going to be at its maximum strength, is to make sure you keep watering, de-weed, and that will maintain good growth and your plants staying nice and healthy. Right, over to the grow bed. As you can see, I actually managed to have two cauliflowers growing, but thanks to these little buggers, they're eating all the friggin' plant up, you know, they're eating them all. So there's a couple on there, and there's a couple on here, and these guys are actually because of the white butterflies. I don't know if we'll get one in shot, but the onions are doing fine. Obviously onions repel everything, including slugs. This is the apple tree, which is still growing, and obviously sunflowers didn't actually grow as big as I was expecting to. And we've got a little green thing on there. What's a little cricket or something on top of the plant there? Nice, camouflaging itself. And also moving on to the pear tree. Pear tree is getting nice and fat. As you can tell, the leaves are the branches are getting really heavy, which is why the plant is leaning like it is. The pears are getting nice and big. Oh, there's a butterfly in the shot. Where's it going? Where are you going, butterfly? So yeah, they're getting nice and heavy. And this, at the end of the year, in autumn, I will actually chop the tree down a little bit so it remains like a dwarf tree, but will still produce a good amount of pears, because obviously, you know, this is still a lot of pears for one family to consume. And here we are at the potato plant. The potato plant is actually still producing new shoots, and there's actually some new growth happening from somewhere, so we should have some nice potatoes to harvest this year, hopefully. And again, All these little green plants, you may think they're weeds, but I don't know if you remember, in the last episode I actually threw some peppers seeds down, and some of them just took to the ground. And obviously the pepper seeds were from an actual pepper that we purchased and were eating, and I just thought, hey, let's just see if the seeds will take. And they did take. They germinated. Not all of them. There was like, I don't know, maybe like 100 seeds, but you know, about 30 of them took out of the 200 seeds. So you know, it's free, man. So you know, I'm going to enjoy that. Hopefully we'll maybe push some bell peppers through, you never know. So thanks for joining me on another episode of Grow Your Own Food with your host Tamym25, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, all the links are in the description at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you hit a like on the video, and make sure, if you haven't subscribed yet, to make sure to subscribe to the channel in order to get more updates on a monthly basis on our new part of the channel, which is Grow Your Own Food. Peace.